Today we're going to talk about the coast live oak, sometimes called the California live oak of the Fagaceae family. Scientific name is Quercus agrifolia. It's an evergreen tree, so the leaves are on it year round and they can grow up to 100 feet tall. The younger ones typically have a short trunk and numerous large crooked spreading branches. As they get bigger, the trunk gets thicker and it looks more of a tree form, vice a shrub. Something interesting about the coast live oak in terms of its growth form is that they can get very, very old. So most of the mature trees could be a couple centuries old, but there's a coastal live oak that is approximated to be about 2,000 years old in Temecula, California, which would make it the oldest oak in the world. They're typically found within 62 miles of the Pacific Ocean and below 5,000 feet in elevation. And I don't know if you can hear in the background, but there's a stream right next to us. And so we're pretty much in their prime habitat in a valley next to a stream. Their leaf arrangement is alternate on the twig. And so if this focuses, you can see that it alternates as it goes up the twig up until there's one on the tip. And then something super interesting about the leaves of the coast live oak is that there's two different types. So at the top where there's more sunlight, it's these shorter or smaller, thicker leaves. And then in the middle, where not as much sunlight penetrates the canopy, is a larger version of that. Both of them are convex in shape, and that's supposed to help them, they're very drought resistant, and so that's supposed to help them absorb condensation from mist and from early morning fog out here in the Pacific coast. I don't know if it'll focus this small, but right here at the tip of the twig, you can see a little bundle. And so the buds that they get are these rounded, broad bud tip, which turns into an acorn that we'll look at in a second. So the leaf margin is spiny tooth with sharp thistly fiber, so it's got little points on it that kind of look like holly. And then for the bark, so it typically has smooth bark that's kind of typical of an oak tree. You can see behind me. So the younger trees are gray and kind of brownish. As they get older, it becomes a lighter gray. And then so for flowers, the species is monoecious. The male flower is typically yellow-green, and the female flower is reddish. And they kind of grow pretty much right next to each other. The fruit the acorn is elongated, and it's not mature right now. So the flowers only grow in the spring, so we're not able to see one today. But the acorns are just now starting to, if you can see that, are just now starting to develop. And so here later in the fall, they'll turn brown and they'll fall off the tree. Something super interesting about the acorns, let's see if we can get that focused. There we go. Something super interesting about the acorns is usually most red oak, so the coast live oak is considered a red oak. Most red oaks, the acorns take 18 months to mature, but the acorns on the coast live oak don't have a dormancy phase, and they can mature in about 7 to 8 months.